Now, when we look at Muhammad, a comparison, Muhammad was born some 600 years after Jesus in Mecca. Before his birth, his father died. See, he was the posthumous child, a child that is born after the death of his father. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam happens to be the most historical of all religious personality according to Encyclopedia Britannica. No doubt whatsoever about him that Muhammad could be a fairy tale. Most historical, solid down-to-earth figure. History starts with him. The change of the Arab nation starts with him. The whole Arab world becomes known to the world for the first time in the history since the creation of the world. Since the creation of the world, the Arabs were an unknown people. Nobody was interested in that human rubbish. Nobody. Alexander the Great passed them by. The Phoenicians, the Persians passed them by. The Egyptians passed them by. Nobody was interested in that human rubbish. Nobody. It was after Muhammad that all of a sudden they become known and they become masters of the known world through the blessings of Islam. Before that, unknown. Muhammad is the most historical of all religious personalities. The mission of these two respective messengers of God, Jesus Christ, according to the scriptures, opened his mouth at the age of 30, and by the time it was 33, 3 years' time, they say that the Jews hanged him on the cross, did away with him, as a false prophet, as an impostor, as a liar, as a cheat. They hung him on the cross, 3 years. The Prophet of Islam opens his mouth at the behest of God at the age of 40, and for the next 23 years of his life, he reformed his people. 23 years. His mission is 23 years, Jesus was 3 years. And the records left behind through the lips of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Bari Ta'ala gave this book. Muhammad left this record behind, the Holy Quran. A complete record. Everything that the Muslim ought to know, his duties and obligations, are all given in this book. You don't have to fumble for knowledge, for directions. It's all given to us. In the case of Jesus, Jesus himself, he did not write a word in his lifetime, not one word. In his lifetime, nor did he dictate to anyone to write a word. And nor was a word written, not one. What we have today is a record, long after him, written down by persons called Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Peter, James, Paul, and on and on. And that record is a record about Jesus. It's not his record, it's not what he said. This book, this is the Holy Bible. In this Holy Bible is called there is an Old Testament and the New Testament. The New Testament is supposed to be, according to the Christian missionaries, that is the Injil.